Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be doing a channeled love letter from your soulmate. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst, along with this letter. Group 2 is the clear Quartz, along with this letter. And group 3 is the Fluorite, along with this letter. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you would like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Amethyst, along with this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get kind of an overview of where your soulmate is at, energetically speaking, what's going on with them right now. Okay, so we have ceremony, invocation, rainbow, blessings, ocean, ebb and flow, waterfall, effortless, lightning, power, and wolf, instinct. So the ceremony is giving me the magician vibes. So your soulmate may be trying to manifest the next stage or step in your connection, manifest a window of opportunity to express some kind of long-held truth. With this lightning energy, this is like Ace of Swords right here. So something that they want to communicate or convey to you, kind of a pouring forth, a watershed. This is like Ace of Cups energy right here with the waterfall. Something that has been building within, this churning energy, maybe an apology that is owed or feelings that they are wanting to confess, perhaps even for the first time. This energy of wolf and instinct really speaks about, with these mountains in the background, some challenges or difficulties that you may have had in the past with one another. So this can tie into an apology that may be owed, or a sense of that maybe in the past they had been looking at the obstacles in this situation and had been fighting their feelings, kind of pushing back from this precipice of truth, just sort of letting themselves fall into this energy of passivity or complacency, almost, that it's too difficult to work. There are too many challenges in this situation. The timing is not right. And it may be something that was, some of that was on a practical level. A lot of that feels though to be excuses within, a lot of fear-based energies, but they seem to be in this stance of really trying to push forth and get very creative in how these obstacles are overcome, a sense of their soul crying out for you, the two of you on an etheric and energetic level calling to one another, trying to really magnetize this in, that despite the challenges and obstacles that have occurred or those that stand in the way of kind of the unfolding of the next chapter between the two of you, that there's determination here to kind of find a way through these things, find that hidden passageway to that point of intersection where deep truths can be revealed. This rainbow energy here, this is like the 10 of Cups. So this speaks about deep emotional fulfillment, wish fulfillment. If your soulmate had been kind of back and forth with the idea of ocean and ebb and flow, sort of scared to make a commitment, scared to take a first step, or maybe even kind of overly cautious with that wolf that's bringing forth the idea of like once bitten, twice shy. So those obstacles can even represent fears as far as opening up to love and partnership, maybe even the intensity of the bond between the two of you, this electric connection, this deep magnetization between you. A process of ascension that they are going through, activations that have happened, a sense of this being like a next level love, a very cosmic love. And as much as they are drawn to this, there also feels to be some trepidation in that regard that may have created delays or obstacles up to this point. But it's a sense of through this storminess, through whatever kind of push-pull dynamic that has occurred, they're sensing and seeing you as kind of this light at the end of the tunnel, a guiding light that has been their companion, if only in spirit, through this process of them sort of going through this emotional turbulence, stuffing and suppressing feelings, and now getting to the point of getting ready to sort of manifest a fresh start, a fresh beginning, maybe even mustering courage from within to speak their truth out loud, to take steps to bring this out of the etheric realms and more into the material reality, to make that declaration that they see you as their happily ever after, and to start to really strategize and plan steps in order for the two of you to work around any issues that have surfaced in the past, or any sort of issues that currently are sort of a prohibitive factor between the two of you, wedges between you, burdens that may exist in both of your lives or internally speaking, maybe even distance is a factor, geographically speaking, that could be an issue to sort of the unfolding of deeper layers in this situation that may have caused your soulmate to hold back a little bit. Time is also feels to be sort of an obstacle here, and any sort of delays that have happened due to these very fear-based energies. There's a sense of wanting to press forth through those, not wanting any more time to kind of accumulate between the two of you, between truths that are held within and the revelation of these things outwardly. So these are the energies of profound change on an emotional level. Rather than kind of fighting these feelings, the indication here is that your soulmate is coming up with ways to sort of go with the flow, take that deep dive into some emotional waters with you that are perhaps long overdue, a willingness and an interest and an enthusiasm about fighting with you through this turbulence, rather than continuing to exert their efforts in the direction of fighting their feelings, trying to hold back these feelings and sort of withstand the pull at the soul level deeper towards you and toward the next layer of what's possible between the two of you in the future in this connection. So I'm going to read the channeled love letter from your soulmate's higher self and see what do they want you to know at this time. If you're there, and I know you are, because I hear your heartbeat right next to mine. If you're listening, and I know you are, because our thoughts are jumbled up into a word scramble I puzzle my way through so often in my mind in my waking hours, then know I taste the pain you are enduring at present. I feel your fears of all the time you perceive you've wasted, and the fear of what's to come on the other side of this life. I feel you inventory all you have created and what was destroyed in the process, and lament the yield of what you see before you and how that makes you feel inside at present. I am right here with you, keeping silent vigil at your bedside while you toss and turn amidst the fear that grips you. I wish my love were a medicine which you would willingly take, and that I could be a cure to you. I will myself to be still beside you at this time, so that the warmth of my presence, if only in spirit, can be the light which helps you remember the way home to yourself, beyond the scattered thoughts and panic. I know you so deeply, and I recognize you as the only one I have ever loved, throughout all timelines, space, dimension, and reality. I wait for the day when your memory of me returns to you as well, and I love you regardless of if that day never arrives. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your soulmate, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, we've got D, Z, O, V, I, M, X, G, S, W, N, U, Y, D, and M. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled love letter. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. I chose the clear quartz along with this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a feel for what's going on with your soulmate right now, energetically speaking. Okay, so we have full moon, completion, forest, breath, winter solstice, reflection, eagle, communion, tsunami, wake-up call, and ancestors, generations. So this feels like really big energy, heavy energy right now. Something having to do perhaps with loss or grief, some kind of health scare or something that has occurred within their family or someone close to them, where they're having to really evaluate and kind of think about sort of larger topics related to life, the nature of life, the finite nature of earthly material reality, which it feels like is also sort of folding them in the direction of contemplating bigger questions about the nature of the soul. And then even kind of on a deeper level than that, kind of the life that they've been living, the choices that they have made, the reality they have created for themselves as a result of those choices. A lot of soul searching and contemplation, tapping into the higher self, tapping into sort of those currents of ancestors, passed on loved ones, maybe spending a lot of time alone and in quiet reflection. It feels like they're very withdrawn from people around them, withdrawn from the world at this time, maybe in a stage of grief or mourning for something that has happened, or something where they're really at this stage of recognizing changes that need to occur within their own life, or ways in which they could be making better use of their time in this incarnation, things that they had never necessarily really thought of before, or that whatever this is that's occurred, maybe in their life or again in somebody close to them, it's kind of caused them to do some sort of an inventory. It has literally served as that wake-up call for them, kind of a big emotional upheaval. If this doesn't have to do with anything of the nature and gravity, of something as kind of final as like a health matter, or somebody passing away or kind of nearing that point, this can speak about something else in their life that has kind of reached its completion, reached the end of the road. They may even be sort of getting this call to evaluate, where they're working, where they're spending their time, their relationship with self. But this feels mostly to be like larger forces set in motion that are putting into perspective, as much as they may feel that they have everything figured out and that they're in control, that they are actually kind of at the mercy of sort of the unpredictable and the unknown. So there's a little bit of fear that is sort of stirring up here. And a lot, it feels like also deliberate efforts to find things to be grateful for in the midst of these periods of transition. Maybe it's multiple things that are just kind of folding layer upon your soulmate. This is talking about like dark night of the soul energy here as well, and sort of a period of wandering in the darkness at this particular point in time. Maybe, in their life in general, kind of the weight of the world upon them. And this feels also to be deep emotions kind of stirring, memories stirring. A lot of past life memories that may be stirring, maybe even in conjunction with the connection with you that has caused them to sort of withdraw, a need to reflect upon these things, or to expand their spiritual knowledge in some way, or that this can really tie into some other thing that is kind of wrapping up or coming to a conclusion, or that they're sort of faced with these bigger questions, or these bigger kind of concepts about, a fork in the road that they are at, and sort of where to go from here. They may be reaching like a milestone birthday, for example, or just sort of a major event has unfolded. This can even talk about, other people around them in their family, maybe, that have gotten married, that have had children, that have started, a life in like a traditional sense, and a path that your soulmate has been going down, that they really are calling into question. Are these my values? Is this what I want for myself? If this is what I want to breathe life into, kind of looking around at the world that they've created for themselves in other ways, and starting to really take inventory of how conducive is that kind of circumstance and surrounding to these other sort of dreams that I want to manifest and bring into fruition for myself. A lot of cleanup work here, maybe literally in their life. It also feels like emotionally a lot surfacing from the subconscious and the psyche. a deeply emotional time, kind of things that had been frozen in time, memories of the past that have now been thawed. It's sort of like a domino effect. One completion, one sort of wake up call or crossroads point that they've been needing to deal with. This has opened the floodgates to all these other things that are surfacing. It feels like they may also be in the process of doing some generational healing, breaking some generational chains, and in terms of decisions and life choices and kind of life path, even asking kind of these bigger questions about what's my purpose here? How am I making use of this gift of life? And what have I done with the time I've been given? What do I choose to do with the time that I, still remains for me, that I still have available? This can tie in as well to a heart chakra activation that has taken place, that has kind of plummeted them into this energy of an inventory, feelings even in conjunction with this connection with you, that have stirred and activated, and kind of, as much as, they've burst to life in some way, coming out of a state of being almost frozen in time, emotionally speaking, and there's kind of growth, there's movement and momentum, but then they're also coming into this place of confrontation, it feels like, with all these barriers within themselves that stand in the way of, the true actualization, standing in that light of what's possible in terms of these feelings at the heart level that have stirred within. That again, it's things that need to be sort of cleared away or reconciled or reimagined in terms of their history in love and romance, ideas about partnership that have been templated within them through their family and upbringing, kind of this higher awareness they may have as well, that could be very overwhelming about just kind of the eternal aspect of your connection even with one another. If you resonate with this as a past life soulmate, for example, the gravity of that, everything that comes flooding forth with that, even if they're not recognizing it on a conscious level, energetically speaking, it's like this point of contact between the two of you has really awakened a lot of things that have been dormant within. So they feel like they're just trying to kind of hold on for dear life through this period of upheaval, materially or emotionally, or even kind of existentially for themselves. So kind of a rocky period of time, a dark period of time, but it feels like, even if this is somebody that's kind of pulled away from you, or they're going through a lot of difficulties, you represent some kind of a guiding light for them. You're this lighthouse that is kind of the light in the darkness, this companion energy, as they're going through this process of kind of making changes, or at least being forced to look at their life in a way that doesn't feel very comfortable, and that they have not voluntarily chosen to do, or didn't know was necessary up to this point in time. So I'm going to take a look now at the channeled love letter from your soulmate's higher self and see what do they want to tell you right now. Let me tell you a story of the first time I caught a glimpse of you. There are countless eons which exist between us. We are the other side of the coin, the complementary opposite of the unfathomable void of all which can never truly be known. My deepest fear, if we are being honest, is that I must live the rest of this life in the singularity of recognizing who you are to me, while you remain unaware and unwilling to awaken to who I am to you. This fear feels ancient, and it is the last vestige I carry with me of the limits between us. To see is both a blessing and a curse. I understand why you tremble so and struggle to accept this gift. I will be here with my hand open and waiting for you to entwine with me. I will not alter my chosen course, and I hope in time you will find the path beyond all you have known of truth, so that you can decipher me as I really am. I am no illusion, and I know you struggle to accept this. I will show you what love is when you are ready. I don't know where we go from that point of accepting one another fully and openly. I know we have been at this crossroads many times before. I accept you, scars and all. Even on your worst days, I will not leave you alone with yourself. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your soulmate, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, we've got M, C, Z, O, A, L, H, P, F, G, A, S, T, B, Y, and E. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled love letter. I hope that everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Fluorite along with this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a sense of what's going on with your soulmate right now, energetically speaking. Okay, we have childhood innocence, winter solstice reflection, tsunami wake-up call, fog veiled, Gaia nurturing, and waterfall effortless. So this winter solstice is bringing the energy of that your soulmate may have withdrawn to process the connection, feelings that they have for you that they are wanting to express but are currently deliberately sort of keeping hidden. It's like a self-protective energy at this point in time. And this has to do with almost a corner that you've turned with one another, or some kind of a wake-up call or epiphany that has happened for them about who you are to them. These feelings that they may have even been in denial about for quite some time within themselves, that they finally have essentially surrendered to. But with that comes almost the sense of practical experience that they've had with you, a sense of feeling very safe in your presence, very nurtured, very seen, and very accepted by you, and in the times that you spent with one another, that it's a very constructive experience. And with that is kind of the need to dismantle maybe some programming within themselves, or inner child wounds, experiences of the past, kind of beliefs they had about the nature of love and partnership, that they felt were almost sort of set in stone, or that this is just kind of the belief that they had had about how things played out, or a way in which they'd been viewing themselves in terms of what they were capable of giving, or what was possible on their end, maybe projections from other people that they've sort of held within, that the experiences with you have shown a direct contradiction to. And so it's this energy of trying to kind of reconcile that within themselves, a sense of almost they need to clean up something or create some sort of space within them, maybe. And it's bringing to mind with this energy of childhood, like letting childish things go. So this may have to do with, toxic beliefs within themselves, or things that were keeping them at almost just kind of a limited or a stagnant vibration within. That there's been this invitation, there's been this call to action within the heart space that has really been awakened and has blossomed through their interactions with you. That it's this energy of almost kind of needing to tie up loose ends before they can sort of move forward further into the situation with you. This childhood also brings to mind like Six of Cups. So definitely whatever they have done to sort of withdraw or kind of hide out from the connection at this particular point in time, they do have this intention to come back stronger than ever, more capable than ever, kind of with this full force and a willingness of being able to give. But there's an awareness of other things which sort of stand in the way or limit kind of challenges that you might not even be necessarily aware of, with this idea of fog veiled and kind of those mountains in the background. This can even tie into just feelings of unworthiness or lack within themselves that they're recognizing have no place in what is possible to be built and experienced with you. But this is work that they're needing to like do internally within themselves or within their own life to kind of create the change and the preparation necessary to be able to open up more fully to you in the situation. This energy here as well, though, with the sun kind of peeking through this fog, in this energy of where they're sort of withdrawn or kind of they're holding back from you in some way, your light is unmistakable to them. They have clarity of who you are to them. This is something that it feels like it has been a long time building. They may have really kind of tried to back away from this reality, cover this up, or just kind of use excuses about some aspect or layer of like a soul connection with you, something that really does have long-term potential that they may have just been trying to dismiss as something more surface level, as kind of like a self-protective mechanism within, kind of a fear of commitment, a fear of the depths, emotionally speaking, of what's possible between the two of you, almost in the sense of not wanting to tap into this potential out of a fear of what if it goes away someday? What then? And so despite all of these kind of efforts and actions to sort of keep things at a surface level, to kind of like hold back or harden their heart to you in this situation, nevertheless, there's been this breakthrough energy. And instead of choosing to kind of continue in this removed energy in the long term, it's almost like plans are being made behind the scenes to move forward towards you, to follow that light that you represent, that the possibilities of this connection, not just in terms of fantasy and sort of the what if energy, but through concrete experiences with this earthly energy of Gaia that the two of you have established up to this point in time. This is like the Three of Pentacles. The foundation that you've laid is substantial enough that they're almost kind of, they've pulled back in order to sort of ready themselves in some manner for kind of propelling the situation forward to the next level, to make some kind of dramatic or profound gesture to open up to you more emotionally than they have up to this particular point in time. But it requires sort of cleaning out things within themselves, maybe being triggers that they are aware of, like they're not able to open up more fully to you until they've healed some of this, or come to terms with, or sort of quieted down some of this this wounding within, these kind of beliefs of lack within, because they know that if they don't sort of deal with this first, at some point in time, these aspects of self may thwart what the two of you are trying to build, or what they're seeing in a material sense and with certainty is possible between the two of you in the future. So it's an energy of somebody who's kind of, they've withdrawn, or they put up some kind of wall. They're kind of there's a stillness here, and yet there's movement amidst all of this. It's like a temporary energy. It's just sort of something that's on pause, something that they're needing to do or needing to tend to, most likely within themselves, or even just kind of this may be somebody who's getting ready to make some kind of grand declaration or gesture to you, and they've sort of withdrawn to sort of contemplate and strategize that. What's that going to look like? What happens on the other side of opening that door to a greater expression of feelings? Kind of once that watershed happens, it's something they're not wanting to turn off. They're not wanting to back away from that point. And so it's almost the energy of making sure that they are a safe space within for this love to kind of blossom and germinate further, making sure that they have created a safe space, a conducive environment in terms of their material reality. Any obstacles or interferences to kind of pluck those away from their existence, so that there's nothing standing in the way of kind of the limitless potential unfolding in a concrete manner in this situation. So it's kind of like looks are deceiving in this situation. There's a lot more than meets the eye going on. And any energy of having like step back, it feels to be a prelude to something like an even bigger return or movement towards you than you're able to anticipate at this particular point in time. It's like this buildup for some sort of something big, emotionally speaking, that they're in the planning stages of. It's in the works. They're doing these preparations sort of behind the scenes. And a sense of, kind of the preparing for this springtime energy, the rebirth, the renewal, the giving of more to you in this situation than they have up to this point in time. So I'm going to read the channeled love letter from your soulmate's higher self and see what do they want you to know at this time. You are the key that my heart has been waiting for. When you talked about having been in love before, I felt so lonely in that moment. I have never known what the sensation of open love flowing between two people is like. For all my wisdom, you are the teacher, and I am the student in this regard. I am ashamed that at my age and for all of my experiences, I have never been touched at the soul level. You have accessed a place that was hidden even from myself, and I hope you continue to infuse yourself and your energy there often. There has only been one thing I have wanted in this life, and it is to discover and experience true love. I hid behind a mask of material pursuits, but even those were half-hearted. Things never sufficed to satiate the hunger I carry within. I am tired of self-sustaining in this regard. I have spent my whole life loving myself. I am ready to reciprocate with another. I am ready for you. Let's swim against the current. Let's depart from the herd. Let's run away together. We are both overflowing with so much to give, and we both know what it means to pour into one-sided cups. While there's still time, let's get to the business of loving each other. Please keep drawing my heart towards you. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your soulmate, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, we've got G, T, A, Q, J, S, R, D, T, E, G, H, and B. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled love letter. I hope everything resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. And I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.